Long ago, in the hills and dusty roads of Israel, 12 men followed a teacher like no other. His name was Jesus of Nazareth. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, and spoke words that made hearts burn with hope. People didn't just come to him for miracles. They came because, deep down, they sensed he was sent by God. Among those 12 was a man called Judas Iscariot. Now Judas had seen it all. He walked beside Jesus, laughed with him, ate with him, even preached in his name. But while the other disciples were drawing closer to Jesus, something inside Judas began to shift. He wanted Jesus to be a mighty king, to overthrow the Romans and restore Israel's glory. Not a humble servant who spoke of forgiveness and sacrifice, and there was something else. Judas loved money. In fact, he was in charge of the disciples' money bag, and sometimes he dipped his hand in for himself. His heart grew hard, little by little, and he didn't even notice. Meanwhile, the religious leaders, men who felt threatened by Jesus, were plotting in secret. "We need someone close to him," they whispered. "Someone who can lead us to him when the crowds aren't watching." That's when Judas made his move. "What will you give me if I hand him over to you?" he asked. They counted out 30 pieces of silver, 30 coins, a small price for a terrible betrayal. From that moment, Judas watched for the perfect opportunity. A few days later, Jesus and his disciples gathered for Passover in a quiet upper room. Jesus washed their feet, teaching them that true greatness means serving others. But as they ate, Jesus grew troubled. "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." The air froze. Shock swept the room. Each disciple whispered, "Is it me, Lord?" When it came to Judas, he asked, "Surely not I, Rabbi." Jesus looked at him gently and said, "You have said so." Later that night, in the stillness of a garden called Gethsemane, Jesus prayed, ready to obey his Father, even if it meant suffering. Suddenly the darkness lit up with torches. Soldiers marched in, led by Judas. Judas stepped forward and kissed Jesus on the cheek, the secret signal. Jesus looked at him, pain in his eyes. "Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss?" The soldiers seized Jesus and took him away. The next morning, Judas realized the true weight of his actions. Jesus was condemned. Overcome by guilt, Judas ran back to the religious leaders. "I have sinned," he cried. "I have betrayed innocent blood." But they only sneered. "What is that to us?" So Judas threw the silver into the temple and fled, crushed by shame. Judas's story is a warning and a challenge. He walked with Jesus, but let greed and disappointment grow until they took over. Betrayal didn't start with a kiss. It began when he stopped listening to Jesus and started listening to his own desires. But there's more. Even when Judas turned away, Jesus still loved him. And as he hung on the cross, Jesus prayed, "Father, forgive them." Jesus' love is stronger than betrayal, his mercy deeper than our worst mistakes. Even when we fail, there's always a path back, if we choose to take it.